Right, hello again, something a bit different tonight. I'm going to talk about a cycling snack. So I'm going to make a cycling cake, like the ideal cycling cake, and it's going to be based around bananas and oats. So why am I doing this? Well, you could just eat cycling food like, you know, your gels or SIS bar or something like that, but I really don't like these, because like, if you're trying to eat without stopping, like taking that out and trying to munch on that, like especially if you're climbing or something, it's just a bit hard and a bit dense and a bit dry, and you're sort of fucking chomping on it and trying to breathe at the same time, and it's falling out your mouth, getting stuck in your teeth, and like it just really, it messes with your breathing. So you need something softer and something that you can like, it's got a lot of taste and it's really tasty and sort of moist, but something softer you can get down you and it's healthy at the same time. So I'm gonna try this banana cake. So let's have a little look at the ingredients. It's not vegan before people get too excited. I can maybe try another one another day that's vegan, but use your imagination. Right, so let's have a quick look at the ingredients. So in here, first of all, I added about a cupful of Swiss style muesli, something like Alpen, or you can just use oats as well, like plain oats. But this is nice. It's got oats, raisins, like the barley wheat, and some hazelnut pieces in there as well. Then added about 50 grams of butter, which I melted very, very gently into the oat mixture. You're normally supposed to use more butter than that, but like maybe 150 grams, but I don't want it to be too claggy and like sickly, so I only added a little bit. And then I added some milk, maybe just about that much in the bottom of the cup. Added some milk to sort of like moisten it all up and soften the larger bits of oats a little bit too much, so you don't get too much bite out of them when they're cooked. The milk I used was coconut milk. You can use almond milk or normal milk if you like. I mean, just one for the chef. Keith Floyd influence. And then, obviously, you've got to use bananas. But these ones aren't ripe enough for banana cake. Like I like to eat them like that because I like them quite firm. But for banana cake, you really want them like brown, little gnarly ones that you find in the bowl like 3 weeks later after you bought them. Those are the best ones to use because most of the sugars have like developed and they've caramelised and gone really sweet, so there's no good using those. So I'm going to try this idea, baking the bananas on really low heat. They've only been in there about 10 minutes, but the skins have gone brown, and I pricked them because you see that little fella there, it's like oozing, and that one is as well. And I pricked them because I didn't want them to explode and cover the oven inside of shite. So yeah, it seems to have worked. I'll peel them, and hopefully like they've softened and they've gone a bit sweeter. Some of the sugars are caramelised. So yeah, that only took like 10 minutes. And then the other essential ingredients, like the old cycling drug here, vanilla extract, that's the one. And yeah, and the only other thing you need is about a cup of flour, and then about a cup of brown unrefined sugar. Well, you can use any sugar, but I like to use the brown one, it makes it a bit richer. Mix it all up. It's supposed to add a couple of eggs. You can do it without eggs actually, but what the eggs do is they help bind it together. When it's after it's cooked and it's cold, the eggs help kind of bind it. So I am going to use eggs, but you don't have to. But it might be a bit more crumbly if you don't use the eggs. Right, just going to add the flour. Now I've let this cool down a little bit because you don't want to start activating the flour if it's self-raising flour. So make sure this mixture is cold. Bash the flour in. One cup that's about 100, big cup that's about 180 grams. A little bit salt as well, just a pinch of salt, because just makes everything taste a bit richer. Just salt brings out the flavour and everything in it. A little bit of ground ginger for a bit of spice. Bit of the vanilla extract. Don't really know how much. I suppose that'd do. A bit more. In goes sugar. Now, normally I'd say for this quantity of dry stuff you need 3 bananas, but if you've got some absolute Ron Jeremy mandingos here, just 2's fine. So I'm going to peel them, mash them up with a fork, and then chunk them in there. Go on, my son. Oh, that was fucking disgusting, isn't it? Whoa. Yeah, these are too hot. I should have put them in the fridge, but I can't wait. And you want to get all of this nana. You want to get all of these good bits out. It's so juicy now. Right. And then you just need to give it a good mash. If it's a bit too dry, after I've mashed those in, I'm just going to add a bit more milk so it's nice and sticky, like a cake mix. 2 eggs. Beat them. To make sure that the whites are mixed properly with the yellows, because the last thing you want is a solo bit of egg white and you end up with a bit of an omelette shit in your cake mix, and no, that's not good. So you need to give these a proper homologation. Homologation? Homogenization. Bring that in there. I'm going to stick the oven on, preheat around 180. So I like to use these disposable baking tins because when the cake's done, after it's cooled down, you can put the whole thing in the fridge and it keeps it all together quite nicely, and then yeah, you just throw it away. The good thing about this is I find the foil ones are good because they don't burn the bottom of the cake, and you've got quite a dense mixture. If you use like one of the traditional kind of black coated baking tins, the bottom can often start to burn before the middle of the cake is like cooked through and it starts to rise properly. So I like these ones because they reflect a bit of the heat from the bottom of the oven if you get like a hot spot trapped in the bottom of the oven. So I've just put a bit of oil in there. There's like a non-stick thing. I'm going to spread that around with my finger. You can use butter, you can use margarine, WD-40, Clark's wet lube, whatever you've got really. Right, one thing I forgot to mention is 180 is probably a little bit high because this is a dense cake. You want to give it enough time to rise. So if you smash it in and the temperature's too hot, the top and the bottom will just burn because there's loads of sugar in it. So actually probably knock it back a bit, maybe 150 to 170. A lot of ovens way overread anyway. I've actually calibrated this one with a thermocouple at all different points inside, and then I took the knob off and realigned it properly because they never read accurately anyway. So it's been in for around 25 minutes to half an hour, cooking quite gently because like it's so sugary. If you heat it up too quick, it will burn and go black. So let's have a little look. Looking all right. And just a minute ago, I stuck a knife in and just made sure there was no wetness inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the result, I think. I had a bit of overflow issue. I didn't want. Sometimes they rise, sometimes they don't rise too much. So I used 2 tins, but yeah, that's pretty good to me. Let's just check. Yeah, possibly could go in for a little bit longer, that one. I'm just going to take the edge off it and check. But so far so good. So that's it. Really easy to do, didn't take too long, only about 30 minutes cooking time. And now you can just chop it up, slice it, and it stays together, it doesn't crumble like a dry cake, and then just wrap it in some paper or tin foil and take it with you.